each week of OTAs, or will this be pretty much it until you get to camp as far as surveying?
Well, I don't think we want to, say this is exactly what we're going to do. You start off with a certain number of throws you're going to do, a certain number of reps, and then you take it a little bit more, and you make sure your body keeps getting comfortable. It's been going that progression here for a while, so it's been good.
How's your pain level?
Pain level's good. I think you want to make sure that you don't do anything to have it cause a setback. I think we've done that. But at the same time, you're still working hard and pushing.
Are there certain things you can't do yet, Tony, that you need to work up to, or can you just do it all at a limited number?
I don't know if there's anything you can't do. I just think you just want to make sure you don't put a high volume of numbers on it yet. And I think within a few weeks, I think you'll get to a point where you'll be able to, that number will just get to a point where you're able to go the whole time.
So are you waiting to get the blazing speed back, or is it just about quickness? What is it?
Yes, that's it. It's getting my full force speed back here any day now. So.
Even though you're not full go, you didn't do anything last year. This time, do you feel ahead of where you were last year just because you didn't get to do any of the offseason work last year?
I know it sounds, that's a great question. I think I'm actually excited just about where, comparative to where last year, where you were just going into camp without having had a rep per se in the offseason. And I just think it's if you treat it like that, I mean, I'm going to be improving. And there's some things I want to work on that I've been doing that in small doses, and I'll be able to get that ramped up.
It's easy to block out the noise of Manziel because the day of the draft, the draft experts have said he's coming to Dallas. Is it easy to block that out, or is it hard?
Well, like I said before, I think you just, I knew what our team was hoping for in the draft, and so I think it was a great time to look at some of the top players that were available, and we had a couple guys up there, and Zach was one of those guys. So once he was available, I knew we were really excited about him. And it's great that we got a guy of his ability to get that spot in the draft. I think it's going to show that it ends up being a really good draft when it's all said and done.
He thinks you're still a young quarterback. Are you a young quarterback?
Absolutely. I'm one of the youngest guys talking right here in this room.
Hey. Shots fired.
Nice. Talking to y'all, he's not talking to me.
You're not 34, Desmond?
Yeah. He told you.
Before some wanted to be in that. Can you just talk about what happened?
Yeah, it's hard to watch. I watched it at the house, and just a couple of family members. A bunch of the other ones went to the game. I thought that was the right thing to do, and supporting the team. It was as big a game as we played in last year, and it was just obviously tough to watch because you want to be there and having a game to get in the playoffs at home. It's a big difference between that and being on the road. And so, the last time we had a home game at the end of the year was against Philly to do something for the division, and we won that game, and it felt really similar to that going in. And
what's the toughest moment you've had professionally sitting there watching it?
I don't know about that. I just think it was not being able to be out there for your football team. In a game like that, it's very. I've played through a lot of things in my career and feel like, in some ways, if you can walk, you'll find a way to play. So that was tough.
Is this one of the youngest teams you've been around since you've been here?
Yeah, this feels like it.
Not because of your age, but just because of what they've done.
Just a lot of new faces, I think, more than anything. You find the turnover rate every 2-3 years in the NFL is pretty high, so this feels like a new team in a lot of ways.
Tony, do you think about the end and how much longer you play and that kind of stuff, especially after having that injury at the end of last season?
I think anytime you go through a surgery, you think about that anytime you're playing the game, it's the same as a rookie though. Your career could end anytime you're playing. But I also don't think I think you take the approach with that sense of urgency that every time it can be your last, and so you want to make sure you've maximized all your opportunities to be great and to accomplish your goals. At the same time, I think you've got to just plan for. You have to have patience when it comes to certain areas certain young people that you want to continue to grow and be better, and they just need time, just like myself and some of the young guys when they're younger. So there's a fine line there. I think for me, I think I'm going to play for a lot longer. I know it's a big discussion when you're coming back from surgery, but at the same token, I wouldn't be surprised if I played another 5 or 6 years.
Every other season you come in and tweak something, added something to your game. Are you doing the same this off season, or is it more about making sure your mechanics and everything are right coming back from the surgery rather than
yeah, I think you can do that though. Once you've thrown and gotten over the 10,000 hour mark, I'm on 26,000 hours. You do some things just waking up out of bed well, and I think what you attack are the things that you feel like can help improve you, whether it's your weaknesses or whether it's things you didn't know about and you have to go study to learn. I think those things can allow you to improve. Some of the easier things are just the waking up out of bed and throwing a football. I mean, that was a lot harder 10 years ago than it might be just to get out there and be very accurate with the ball. I know I'm going to be accurate. Now it's subtle little things to allow you to be more productive and to get the deeper elements of the game that kind of separate people.
How much new stuff is it, Tony? I mean, is it 10% of the playbook that's new, 20%? How much new stuff is there in there?
Probably 63. I don't know. Honestly, until you call it in the games and sort of see, there's going to be new stuff, but there might be just the backs route is different. So I don't know. That's the same, but it's different. So there'll be subtle things like that, or just another route variance, but everyone else is the same. So those things can be subtle, but they can be major things.
Were you more anxious to go through kind of a full-blown workout with Linehan now here, or is it easy to be patient and just wait?
No, I'm anxious. I think more than anything, I'm excited to kind of go through it and attack it to that level. But obviously, you gotta be smart and listen to your coaches and training staff.
Last year it was a big deal, a big story.
That's right.
It was a big story that you were going to be more involved with the offense and plays and all that kind of stuff. Is it any different this year? I mean, do you up that level even more, or is it?
Well, I think in some ways, as you get older, I've said this, last year and other times, you have more control with what you want to happen out on the field. That's including leading up to the game and during. At the same token, if you think similar to what the play caller and what the people putting together the plan are, you'll probably take less control in that environment, I guess I would say. So it all depends on the relationship, trust, and then your longevity, your experience that you have as a quarterback. So for me, I think it's all part of it. Just you get to that point and you feel very comfortable going in and communicating what you want and making sure that's going to take shape.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tony.
Yep.